Welcome back to another episode of On a Mission. I'm your host, Dr. Wendy Norfleet with Norfleet Integrated Solutions, and it is my pleasure to have with me one of the board members, actually the board leader for Jacksonville IT Council, fellow board member, friend, James Lampke with Robert Half.
Got to live up to the introduction, I guess.
You do. You got to live up to the hype.
Right.
So, James.
Yeah.
I know about you.
Yes, you do.
But tell us a little bit about you.
So, born, raised Jacksonville, Florida. I currently am the practice director for Robert Half Technology here in Jacksonville, which is a specialized staffing firm. My team is specific to technology, and really everything else I do is about how can we get back to the community. Like you said, we're part of the JITC together.
Right.
I'm a part of the Andrew Jackson Cybersecurity Academy, among other organizations. And also through the JITC, we support our conference, Tech Coast Conference, we had a month ago.
That's right. And James is not sharing that he also has a lovely wife and two beautiful daughters that have him wrapped around
Tightly.
their fingers.
Very tight. They're 4 and 6, and they've got the dad eyes. It's just, did you ask your mother's my best line?
Stay safe, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So tell us, I know Robert Half is, I know a lot of people probably have heard of Robert Half.
Mm-hmm.
You do some events now. It used to be monthly before COVID, but now I think it's gotten, as you've gotten back, it's every other month, I think.
Yep.
And you do the Toys for Tots and some other things. So tell us a little bit about Robert Half.
So, as far as our community involvement, we have Tech on Tap, which is a bi-monthly event now. We'll probably move back into the monthly event piece, but it's an IT event that we wanted to create that wasn't about presentations, wasn't about education. It was more so about just bringing the IT community together to better understand how to network, bump elbows, create relationships. So we did that, and it's been running strong 10 years, so much so that it's kind of spread across the company. And through that, my partner Amy took it upon herself to really dive into how can we give back through this program. So we have a myriad of things that we do, suit drives for the homeless. We do a back to school piece. We do a diaper drive.
Amy is so creative.
She is. She comes up with this. And then our Toys for Tots and the organizations that we support with that. It's probably the most heartwarming one. We do. Just how much people want to give back to,
I know. I usually go to that one, and I come in here and I get carried away.
Everywhere.
I go and buy one or two things, and then I say, okay, well, this one will be cute too. This one will be cute. And I think last year, I bought 4 or 5 or something.
Yeah, we've got to bring in extra tables to hold the toys. But it's fantastic, to be able to give back that way, and with being at an organization like Robert Half, there's support to giving back to not only the communities that our corporate office sits in, but to give back to where our offices are throughout the United States. 100% support. However they can help and support us on the back end of that, to support even harder. They really push us to do that.
So I know Robert Half has always been behind us as we've done Tech Coast Conference also, and so I want to thank you for that. I know you're probably the impetus for that, but it's such a great conference, and obviously this year people are still talking about it. Even my last guest was talking about it. It was such a good time,
what a good
turnout. So we haven't quite got to the numbers pre-COVID, but we're getting closer.
Closer and closer every day, and even not being at those pre-COVID numbers, it's astonishing how through the conference we were able to exceed all expectations on what we were donating to students for scholarships.
Right, that is awesome.
So I think that in the years to come, especially this coming year, we're setting that bar higher. It's give back. And I remember back when I first started, we were like, yeah, let's do a scholarship, let's do one. And now it's all right, well, how many can we do? Right? And it's went from a singular education school, moving it into now we're working with 3 universities. We would like to get a 4th on there, and really kind of create some buzz around competition for these students to earn these scholarships. So it's going to be pretty interesting to see what comes of next year's conference and what we can accomplish with that year's conference.
Okay. So what would you like people to remember about Robert Half?
Remember about Robert Half? Simply put, Robert Half has a myriad of awards and they're one of the oldest specialized staffing agencies in the business, if you will. But I think the biggest thing is and I pride myself on this, is market expertise, right? There's depending on which article you're reading or who you're talking to, there's tons of staffing agencies out there. There's a lot of numbers that are very similar, but what makes Robert Half special is we're local market experts. Mm-hmm. So we have offices in every major metropolitan city. So I focus specifically to Jacksonville, and by being involved in the community, by being involved in the market, plus the statistics and everything are out there. If you're looking for an organization that can really bring expertise to your hiring process, to what the talent market looks like, that's what Robert Half really has to offer, is that knowledge that we can pass along to make hiring just that much easier in a time where hiring is probably the hardest it's ever been.
Okay. Well, great. Thank you so much.
No, thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for joining us today and learning a little bit more about James Lampke with Robert Half. And we'll see you next time on Buzz TV.